Please join me in salute or pledge of the flag. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call of directors. Director Gibson.
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
Director Nyman.
Here.
Director Schoenberg.
I'm here.
And I'm Director Garcia. Just do discussion and adjust the agenda if necessary. Is there any changes that we know of? Not hearing any, I will move on to number 3. Public comments. Do we have any public comments in the audience this evening? Not hearing any. Thank you. Number 4, report of officers. I have no report this month. Vice President?
No report.
Secretary?
I have no report.
Treasurer?
Yeah, just reporting that I need to, we got both claim, 9 a while ago, and 10 is now in our planning fund, and I have all the information to make the transfers for the directors meetings and the admin costs, and I'm going to do that. I did not get a chance to do it yet today, so that's going to happen before next week's meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and we resolved one other thing. We had some issues with the banking, and those hopefully were resolved with Sherry at the bank today by telephone call.
Excellent. I love that for us. JPIA rep.
You know what? I have something to report, but it's not JPIA. It's just more general information of what we should be mindful about. You know what? I was in Dollar General maybe a week and a half ago, and I was waiting in line, and someone kept pushing their car into me. And I turned around to see if I was causing a problem to make other people, and I noticed that it was one of our clients that's kind of vocal at the water company. And I ignored it, but she kept pushing into me. It was real passive aggressive. So it just made me mindful of being out in the public in Fraser Park and being vulnerable and trying to remain, calm. And it just made me realize I don't go out very much, and it happened to me. I can't imagine what it's like for members of the water companies that go out every day, that have families that shop at these different places. Like, it was just,
Unacceptable.
it was very rude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
sorry
it.
that happened to you. Number 5, board member initiatives. Anyone?
None.
Thank you. Number 6, manager's report. We all got copies of the report. Was there anything you wanted to add to that, Tiffany?
No, I don't have anything specific. I know the guys have been working all week trying to fix a pipeline on Logan and Grant trails. And I think they finally got that done today. And on Monday, I think they're just gonna finish up cleaning the road. And that's all I know about.
I do know that
Director Nyman, please.
they did put in 100 feet of new piping on that particular leak.
Oh, wonderful. I'd heard something about that, but they ended up doing it with our crew.
Yes, our crew, yes.
I love that. Yes, perfect. Okay, moving along, administrative assistance report. Tiffany, do you have something?
Yeah, the bookkeeper contract was signed and filed, and the GM contract has been signed and filed. And then I have one question. I don't know if I should bring it up now or later, but I'll start with now. You can tell me later if you, I kind of have a question, and if Director Schoenberg is on, you may pipe in for me. So we've been calling the second meeting the Lake of the Woods planning meeting, but with everything evolving, and I'm wondering if we should title it project meeting.
Yeah, I believe
Officially
so.
change
Yeah,
it?
there's way too many projects going on at that meeting. It's just, I mean, I think the reason it was a meeting was because of reimbursement, but I think it could be like state and other or state project meeting. I don't know. We may have to wrap our brains around what we want to call it, but it's no longer just planning. There's multiple state projects, and then there's also a couple other projects we're dealing with every time.
Yeah, if you
Well,
think
are
of
we to,
something, let me know.
are we to the point of saying we have 2 regular meetings a month?
Yeah, I mean, we've had that for quite a while, but I think, the issue was that the state is generally reimbursing us for the second meeting because we deal with all of the state, we cover, even though we deal with everything on both meetings, we've been covering the first meeting and not charging back, and the second meeting was very specific to what we're doing, and so that's been charged back, as is the state update meeting. So I think the thing to do would maybe be to just extend the name a little bit and say the maybe state project. The problem is we have a couple other projects that we throw in time too. So I don't know.
Any more discussion on it from the board? Well, I think I think maybe I agree with Lisa that we should allow I would leave it with the Lake of the Woods consolidation, and I say and you say and state projects or something like that, because I think it's important that it says that for reimbursement purposes, because you don't want the state coming back. I mean, our other avenues, because if they do come back, then we can provide, then we'll have to start providing them two meetings a month, showing them that we're covering both. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that there isn't any question on the reimbursement.
Don't we submit time?
How about state planning and project meeting?
Nice.
Yes, that's perfect. I think that's great.
Could you make that a motion, Lisa?
Well, everybody's kind of happy with that.
Yeah.
Everything I heard was positive.
Okay,
Barry, you're okay
No,
with
that's
that?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
I guess I would move. I think we need to keep regular in there though, so people realize it's not a special meeting. So I think I would move that we call it the regular state planning and project meeting.
Yes. 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 Do I
I'll
have a second?
second that. I'll second that.
Excellent. Director Nyman, second the motion. Roll call directors. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. Excuse me. 5-0-0. Motion carried. Excuse me. Numbers, is that it, Tiffany?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, ad hoc committee reports. Project committee, anything?
We don't really have anything new per se. We do have the meeting minutes are part of, we're going to be approving that this evening, and then we did meet we will meet again with the state next week, and then we'll also have our meeting again right after that on the same day. So I think we don't have anything new. We'll have more new to report on at the
Maybe
next
next meeting.
meeting.
Yeah,
Correct.
sure. Any other projects, financial committee?
Oh, actually, we do have one thing new. That's going to
Okay.
come up under. It's going to come up on our agenda, but the issue, there's an issue with bids for the well project, but we can discuss that under that agenda item.
Okay. And deposit review committee.
That was the part. Wait, what did you say?
Deposit review.
Deposit. That's that's Kelly and
That's gonna start in January.
Okay, excellent. Great. That's number 7. Number 8, discussion and vote on accounts payable and financial information. Miss Angel, are you present?
I am. Good evening.
Beautiful. Good evening. You have the floor.
Okay, well, I'd like to start with the disbursements, and everyone should have a check detail in their packet, so I'll just highlight some of the more outstanding items. First of all, out of the Lake of the Woods planning account, we had 4 disbursements totaling $20,426.56. Therefore, claim 10. And let's see. And then we had a total of 38 checks out of the revenue operating account for $33,173.51. And the most extraordinary items that came out of that were disbursement to Ferguson Enterprises, total of $4,884.28 for various
Clamps and
distribution system maintenance supplies.
yes.
And
Is that bigger than it usually is to Ferguson?
Well,
Is there any restocking of parts for us so that we
Yeah.
have inventory?
I believe some.
I'm sorry.
I believe
Correct me
some
if
of that
I'm-
is. I believe that some of that is restocking, but I mean, we normally expend anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. It's a lot. We buy a lot of clamps because of
Okay.
we've had a lot of leaks and stuff. So
Mm.
until we get our system changed, that's continuing to be an issue.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. And the other extraordinary amount, which is quite normal though, is for the Edison bill, $6,044.22. Did anybody have any other questions about the check detail or the disbursements?
No?
Okay, so you will note.
You're
Yes.
Director Schoenberg?
probably about to say what I was going to bring up, so go ahead.
Okay, so you will notice in your financial packet, you have a few more documents this time around. We will now start providing you with a credit card detail report for each credit card that gets reconciled. And I don't know if you want me to go over anything in particular, but you should have one there for Johnny's account, for Johnny's card, I'm sorry, and Tiffany's, and then Voyager, which is the fuel account. And that is all the detail for what we paid this month.
And I just wanted to add the large payment on that still is dealing with all of the stamps that we need to buy, and that was over $1,000 on top of our regular postal needs, and that's because of the nitrate notices still.
That we have to mail every month.
Yes.
Wow.
Were there any other questions about the credit card detail?
If not, I'll entertain a motion to pay the bill.
I'd like to, the financial ad hoc did review all of the bills with Deborah, And I would like to move that we go ahead and pay our bills.
You want to have a second on the motion?
I'll second it.
Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call, directors. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0, motion carried.
Director
Yes,
Kelly,
Director Nyman, please.
do you want me to just mail your check to you?
No, just keep it. Put it wherever and,
Okay, I'll give it to Johnny.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to note that some of the additional paperwork that you're now receiving, you're able to look at the adjusting journal entries, which gives you an idea of the debits and credits. It's you'll be getting the P&L for the month and for the year to date soon. I'll be going over that with Deborah a little bit tomorrow. And so yeah, you're starting to get the system total reports now so that you're able to see how much water we pumped, how much water we sold, just some typical things in case you have any questions about that. And then also, she's not giving the full statement for the bank because I didn't feel that was necessary. And I know at one point we had voted not to do that. I don't know if you're still not wanting that, but what we did include is a reconciliation report for each, just a brief report for each statement. So you can see the money that went out of each account, but not at every individual item. So that's what the additional reports are right now.
Good, excellent. Let's move on to number 9. Discussion vote on book asset detail.
So this has not moved forward right now. There's 2 parts to it. There's the RCAC. We're still waiting for David to let us know. I think he got an extension. It was supposed to be in October when we were supposed to, have some idea of going out for a Prop 18. But I believe he had some issues with the spreadsheet and they're still working on that. So
Okay.
they're going to at some point get together with us. And then the other part is a rather lengthy project that we're still going to be doing as part of just the water company. And Deborah Angel is going to be helping with that. And that is the book asset, fixing all of our assets so that they're listed in a friendlier manner and getting rid of anything that makes no sense at all, like pipe in the ground where it doesn't say where, what. So all that stuff is going to go away, and that needs to be done in conjunction with the auditors, and we're still working on that, and it's a pretty lengthy project, so that's probably going to go into next year at least.
Okay, we'll be carrying that over then. Unfinished business, number 10. Discussion vote on Fraser Park Lake of the Wood Consolidation Planning Project. A, discussion vote approve the test well report.
Do we want to note the time?
Yes,
What time you got?
it's a 6:20.
Thank you.
Can we excuse Deborah?
Yes, we may.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Deborah.
Carl.
Thank
Thanks, Deborah.
Good night. Okay. A, discussion vote approve the test well report. Where are we at on that?
D?
Well, it's done and it's been in your hands for probably a month. I think that's all complete now unless there's some formal action that you got to take that you haven't. But anyhow, that item is.
I think that should be pulled off, Tiffany.
You asked me to put it on there because the board never took an official vote.
Oh, we didn't? I thought we
No.
did. Okay.
Well, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the test well report.
And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Director Kelly has seconded the motion. Roll call of directors. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0, motion carried. Well, good. Now we can get that off the list. And B, discussion vote on test well property appraisals and acquisition. I think I remember one argument to move forward and one to kind of lay back. What did we decide to do on that?
I believe we voted to move forward
Okay.
on it, at least the Saya property. But I believe both.
Okay.
Mer-
Anybody else have any further info on this?
I think we were waiting, Dee, is that not correct? We were waiting, you had contacted the appraisers and we were waiting to find out when they could come.
That's right. They're about a month and a half out right now. They are just, I guess, a lot of properties being sold and exchanged and financed or whatever. But I talked to our appraiser today and he said, we're probably a month and a half out to get those done. So, or get them started anyway. So they're just swamped. So that's the schedule. He's going to try to fit it in if he gets a break. I guess in the work that he's committed to, he'll move us up in that time frame. But he wasn't very encouraging. There's just a lot of stuff out there, a lot of real estate transactions.
And we will have to keep that on the agenda.
Mhm.
Just keep checking back. So, C, discussion vote on the quote of D. Jasper to write a description of project needs for the state. That's something we worked out with you, Dean.
I started looking at some of the things, and what I'm understanding we're looking at is, what are the things from the standpoint of design and any of the reporting that we need. Do we need to change that budget? And there are 2 or 3 items that I'm looking at right now. I haven't finished really a detailed analysis of it, but there are some items that I've got in there, plugged in there for the design that I think are probably a bit short. Just looking at what we've done up in some other areas. So I think I've got to talk to the geotechnical folks, the electrical folks, electrical engineering and geotechnical, because I think those budget items are going to increase when we actually get into design.
See, I thought this was also that we needed it when we talked to Lawrence at the state update meeting. We need you, or you had said you were going to write up what the reasons were for possibly needing to move ahead on the Saya property well, and that, Lawrence wanted a more, a detailed description of why we might need that, what the needs are for being able to move ahead and possibly drill the 2 wells together.
I'll put something together. I haven't moved ahead on that, but it is, I think it's becoming more and more critical based on what we'll talk about with respect to well 5 and replacement well bids. I think we should be moving ahead on both those fronts. So I'll make a note to myself to move ahead on that and get something written up.
Okay, thank you.
You 60?
Yeah.
Your voice sounds different.
Yeah, I've got a cold, and I know it's not COVID. I checked that first thing. Okay.
So yay, right?
Yeah, I feel good that it's not COVID. So I got tested 2 days ago, and it's just a winter cold.
You gotta take your blessings when you can get them, brother.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. D, discussion vote on moving forward with a resolution for the intention to purchase a test well property on or easement. That's kind of exactly what we're talking about.
Right, but I believe that we need to do some things before that, one being the appraisal, because we really don't, without the.
Sure. No, we need a starting point, absolutely.
Right, and the second would be that, we need to find out if we have to have that description of why it's necessary to move forward on this before we actually get to the construction phase. And without that, we're not going to get any funding for it. So the only way we're going to get funding for purchase or help or reimbursement with the purchase would be to write to the state and have the state understand that it's critical that we move forward with at least those properties, or at least the one property, the Saya property, minimally before we actually get the construction funding for the whole project. So I think we need to carry that over until we have both a letter that that's penned that we agree on for Lawrence, and then also we need to get the appraisal going.
Okay, check. E, discussion vote on district sphere of influence map for the annexation.
So that's the same thing. We haven't gotten to it yet. I know that, we're supposed to get together, myself, Johnny, and look at the maps, but that has not moved forward at all. There's just so much going on. So I think we just need to keep that on here and make sure that we get to that, but it's not the highest priority right now.
Yeah, I get it.
You can meet when D's cold is gone.
Yeah, definitely don't want to meet with D right now. I don't want to.
You're on 14-day quarantine, D.
And
Okay.
the same is true of the MSR. We're not, again, really moving forward with the MSR until, some of this other stuff is, I think, unless I'm wrong about that. I mean, we have, I think first thing that needs to happen is this letter and, having an idea about the appraisal.
Okay.
You want me to keep carrying those on the agenda or drop them?
Yes, please.
I think they need to keep being carried on the agenda because we just need to keep reminding ourselves of what we haven't done yet, but yeah.
Okay, G, discussion vote on a new budget request.
Did we do that letter? Did we write the letter to asking about the annexation was going to be, the appraisal was to be additional 7,500. I think we needed to write a letter to Lawrence asking to move that 7,500 if that's really what it is from the contingency, but again, without having the appraisers ready to go, I don't know if they can give us an exact price. So I guess again, we're waiting on them a little bit, and then we can pen that letter to ask for that money to be moved from contingency to the appraisal line.
And
I can't understand whoever's talking.
that's Carlos.
We should wait then before writing that letter so we know the exact amount.
So yeah, we would wait till we get the exact amount from D, then we could write the letter, is what Carlos is saying.
Yeah, I think that's what I just said. There's no way for us to know that exactly until we get the appraiser ready to work with us.
I have the budget for that, but until he really gets on the ground, he's not gonna know exactly what that final cost will be because of those additional properties that we have along the frontage road from the Wainwright well site.
For that easement.
Yes. And so there's a little bit of float there, and I think it might reduce the price that he's given us for that, but we do have the budget numbers.
So should we just go ahead and have Carlos put together a letter with the budget numbers?
That we have those, and that could be done. Yes.
Really?
He feels the same way about it as I do. Okay, so let's do that.
Yeah, Carlos, I'll get you the budget numbers from the appraiser.
And maybe we can have that ready.
Did it change?
What's
What's
that?
that?
Did it change from last time? Because I know it was like 20,000 and we had like 12,500, so we only needed to move 7,500. Is that still the same or?
Right, nothing's changed. But I can verify what those
Okay.
numbers are, Carlos.
Okay.
So yeah, we'd like to have that letter probably ready for next Thursday so that we can approach the subject with the state when we have our state update meeting.
Excellent, excellent.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I just need those numbers from D as fast as I can, as fast as you can, because I got so much stuff I need to do by Thursday. So
Okay.
I'll email them to you during the meeting tonight here, Carlos. You'll get them.
okay.
Okay, cool. Letter H, discussion vote update on claims and payouts. Do we have any others outstanding? Excuse me.
Yeah, we should have one for whatever it is, 13, that should be coming up for next week. Is that correct?
Yeah, it'll be ready Thursday.
You're not really easy to hear.
Yeah, it'll be ready for Thursday.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Carlos.
and like we said, we've already received claims 9 and 10, and what 11 and 12 have already been submitted, and we're just waiting for payment on those. Is that correct?
Yeah. I got a question. Young and Woolrich keep sending this statement to self-help, and it's all past due stuff that's from like claim 9 and 10. So they're still needing to get paid for like $20-something from one of those claims. So
We
that-
had it's not $20, it's like something crazy like $9, isn't it? Or something.
Yeah.
We have 2 invoices that we paid out tonight. Let me just go to the budget detail, to the check detail. We definitely cut them a check, and that was for claim 10. And that
Okay.
was
$97.59.
correct. Yeah, one was for $9.09. The other was for 80.
$8.50.
And then we just combined the 2 of them on a single check.
Okay.
Tell them the check's in the mail.
Yeah, checks in the mail. Claim 10.
Okay, number 11, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement project and emergency well supply project. A, discussion vote update on going out to bid for well 7. That's already gone out to bid, right?
Yeah, we
Bad news.
got no bids.
Do we know the
We,
time now?
I'm sorry.
This is still part of it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the state goes up until the Cal OES number 13.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Dee.
Oh, okay. We had a couple of general contractors who were going to bid, but they could not get drillers to bid the project. And Curtis made independent calls to about 5 different drillers, and they're all so busy. They're booked up and not even thinking about taking on any more work. We did make a contact with Bakersfield Well and Pump. That's they do a lot of work down here, and we're pretty familiar with them. And they said they would bid it if they could use what we call reverse rotary instead of direct rotary drilling procedure. And so we checked with Ken Schmidt to see if that would be fine, and he said that would be all right. The difference in the two procedures, everybody uses reverse rotary now, and there aren't a lot of direct rotary, what we call mud rigs. And it's a real simple difference, but it's a simple difference with a big impact. And the direct rotary, you've got a pipe and you're drilling through it, and you're drilling down with a drill string. And as you drill, the cuttings from the drilling come out up the outside of that pipe, that drilling pipe. And so what happens is, and it's really not a preferred way to do it, but all the cuttings come up the outside of the pipe, and basically in the annulus between the drill string and the outside of the hole they're drilling. And the reason that we use it in conditions like this is that there's a lot more room there to get big cobbles out of there because of the difference in the hole diameter and the drill string. But there are not a whole lot of guys that use that process anymore. Reverse rotary is just the opposite of that, where all the cuttings come up the drill string itself, up the pipe, and they come out the top and then into the reservoirs that they construct for that purpose. And so it's a little bit more restricted. And when you have a lot of cobbles and things like that, you may have more issues with blocking that drill string. But you know, it can work, and with a good driller, it will work. And so we checked with Ken Schmidt to see what his thoughts were, and he said if anybody could do it, Bakersfield Well and Pump could do it. And so our recommendation to the board is that we go ahead and rebid the project and specify reverse rotary and of course direct rotary if somebody wants to bid it like that. So somebody comes along, didn't hear about the project or something, but use, you know, an either or drilling method. And Bakersfield Well and Pump said they would bid it, and so at least we'll get a well drilled. And you know, it might be a bit more expensive, but you know, it's just that these guys are they're busy with their rigs, and it's difficult to get somebody to come up to do it. But anyway, that's one driller who we have a relationship with who committed to do that, to do the job. So my recommendation and would be for the board to authorize us to go ahead and rebid the project with the reverse rotary drilling method.
I'll entertain a motion for that.
Before we do that, I have a question. Should we go out to bid right away, or should we wait to see if there's any way to somehow attach the Saya property well?
My thoughts would be the drillers are so far out now that my my recommendation would be to go right ahead. Let's get it bid and get somebody committed, because I know it will be several months probably before we even get Bakersfield Well and Pump on the project. So, you know, I would go ahead and bid it. And we can run into complications with the SAA property that might really slow everything up. If it moves ahead quicker than we thought, well, then I think we'll be in line to do both wells. But my thoughts would be, let's move ahead. Let's get well 5 replaced as quickly as we can. I'm a little worried about, you know, that well is not in the greatest shape, and it is subject to failure. And you know, so far so good, and we've lined it. The board spent the district spent a lot of money getting that thing lined, but what was not lined is still in the shape that it was in, and it's a really, really old well with a very thin casing. So I would move ahead, get something on the schedule.
One more question. Would we be going back out to bid with, not just with Bakersfield Pump, but with, I forgot what their name is exactly, but would we also try to see if there were any additional bidders, because we changed the method?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, it will be bid again. And we
All the same procedure.
right. It will reach out to everybody. It'll be advertised just like we did it first. So, you know, we got 30 days to advertise and then get bids in. So, you know, it could be that another driller comes along and says they just happen to have time to do it, and we'll bid it. But I wouldn't hold out.
And I'm curious about the cost of going back out to bid, because that is not necessarily covered in what we already proposed or what's already covered for that project.
Oh, yeah, there'll be more cost, that's for sure.
Right. So don't we need to talk to Lawrence before we do that? Before we, because we're meeting again next week, I think we probably need to talk to the state and have the exact amounts and make sure that we're, you know, on, the state's on board for that, and then approve it. It's only a difference.
I think that, you know, we're talking a couple $1,000 probably, or less than 5 for sure. And, you know, if we don't get approval for it for a while, we'll hold the bill. But really, I don't think I really think we need to move ahead and as quickly as we can to move this thing forward again. Worried about.
Yeah. Wait a week to talk to Lawrence again?
I would not wait. I would get authorization. Let us get this thing back on the street. If indeed Lawrence says, you know, I don't think he's going to say no. And so I think the chances are that we're going to, you know, he will authorize whatever we need to do, but we really need to move ahead. And one other thing, and I didn't mention it when we were going over the schedule, but my grandson, Gail and our grandson, is graduating from Colorado State University next week, and we'll be out of town from Wednesday, the 15th to the 20th. He's graduating in Fort Collins, Colorado. So family's going up to celebrate that and to be there for him for his graduation. So I will be out of town the last part of next week. So and I can try to call in, but I do think that you know, I think we need to do what we can to move ahead. But again, if the board wants to wait, that's fine too. We'll do whatever you want.
If we go out to bid, this is already December, so we wouldn't get anything back. I mean, it would be mid-January before we got.
Yes.
And it would still might be March, April before they could even start drilling.
Easily that. It may
Yep.
be July.
Wow. We need to get on this.
Okay, I think we should go ahead and make that motion. I think we're talking to Lawrence on next Thursday. We can explain the urgency of it. Now, when you're talking about costy, you're just talking about your cost when you said 2,000 to 5,000 more, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. We'll have we
Right.
could
So
probably have one more bidders tour, and then we have
right,
to
and is the cost for when we bid, what the actual drilling costs, is that going to be significantly more, or is it because they do that one, it should be about the same from our original bid? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I think maybe just the off the shoulder thoughts on this. Costs are going up so quickly because of materials. Materials are going through the roof. Steel is, 1.5 times what it was 6-8 months ago. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be more than what we thought. And everything else is diesel is through the roof. That's what these guys use to drill these wells. So I don't know how much, but I do know that prices are really going up, and they're going up pretty rapidly.
Okay.
What is our contingency currently, Dee, on that project?
I don't
For-
know
Well,
what that is.
It's $388,256.
there's a good chance that our contingency might not even cover the price of the. I'm just concerned. That's why I just wanted to.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we change the specifications to reverse drilling, and that we go out to bid immediately, and we'll inform Lawrence next week at our state update meeting because of the urgency that we had to go out to bid.
Do I have a second on this motion?
I'll second it.
Director Kelly? I
Yes.
second it. Thank you. Roll call directors. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
I'm gonna abstain out of concern of what may be coming out of our pocket.
Okay.
Director Garcia is an aye. So that's 4-0-1 abstention. Motion carried. Okay, B, discussion vote on site access through Saya property.
I don't have any new information on that. I think Johnny's made some, just talking to the foreman there, the superintendent, the fellow that runs the place, and just trying to develop a good relationship, and hopefully we'll not have a lot of difficulties in getting that access. But right now, it looks like we can access through there, but that's certainly informal.
Okay, well,
I haven't made any calls to SEA or anything. I can do that, but I'm not sure we're ready to do that.
yeah. So let's carry that one over, see what's going on. Maybe the best idea on that one. C, discussion vote on amended plans and specs for meter replacement. Surely you know something about this, Dee.
I'm sorry, what?
We were talking about amended plans and specs for the meter
Yes.
replacement.
Yes, we're doing some cross-checking on it now. I think they're at the point. I talked to Chris about this a little bit earlier this afternoon, and he said we're just about done with those. He is going through and double checking what we have and what we put together. And he thinks that probably about mid-January, we should be able to get on the street with that set of plans and specs.
Okay, so that means we probably have to keep that on the agenda, just to progress that thing out. D, discussion vote on going out to bid for meter replacement. So if the plans and specs aren't done, we're definitely not going out to bid until after those are done, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, then that's another carryover. E, discussion vote on claims and payouts. Anything there?
Claim 1 should be ready for review next week. D, I just need to get together with you over the phone, either tomorrow or Monday, to go over some questions I have on some of the invoices. If you have time, I don't know what you would prefer.
Yeah, tomorrow's fine, Carlos. I'll be in all day.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we'll have more discussion on this next meeting. Is that right, Carlos?
It's Oscar, but yeah,
I'm sorry, Oscar.
we'll have that
Beautiful.
ready for you guys.
Excellent, excellent. Number 12, discussion vote on pipeline replacement project. A, discussion vote on the project application. We on that.
We're not really able to move forward on that too much until we have, potholing and mapping. So that's
Right. I got it.
over because B is the critical thing to start the work.
Right. So, we're not ready for the app. Discussion vote on technical assistance work plan. Was that something she was coming up with?
Yes.
Self-help? Yes, that's what I thought. So,
Where
Only could be I could be done by tomorrow, but review at she. And then once management says it's okay to go up, and it'll go off. So it should be going out next week sometime. I have a meeting with the state on Tuesday. Oh. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Yeah, so I have a meeting with the state on Tuesday, and I will let you guys know on Thursday about how long it's going to take for the state to approve that work plan.
Okay, and
we already have an invoice. I directed both Director Nyman and I were there today and looked at that invoice. I directed Tiffany to hold on to that because I believe that invoices would be covered under the TA monies, but because we don't even have a work plan in place yet, a contract in place yet, I think we're gonna have to just hold that D. But I wanted to kind of bring that up now because there isn't really another place to bring that up at, and see what everybody's thoughts are on that. I don't recall the exact amount, and Deborah, Angel's gone already, but
It was a couple grand.
yeah, it wasn't real large.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need that ahead of time and we have to kind of do some configuration to try to figure out how to refund that, or if we can wait until at least until the work plan contract is approved and we're waiting for the monies, then I think we could pay it and then get reimbursed.
And
We can wait. We can wait.
and I wanted to ask a question though. That particular invoice is made out to Fraser Park, but it's probably going to have to be redone as to Self-Help Enterprises.
Correct, but we need to kind of,
I'm just bringing that up so Dee can make a note of that,
right.
because we're waiting on approval from Self-Help Enterprises.
That's going to be an A instead of a B invoice. So really the invoice can stay the same other than who it's sent to, or you could probably just even put an A on it so that we know that using that numbering system we came up with, that we know that that's going to be a TA fund payment.
Okay. Well, the rest of 12C and D are pretty still, I mean.
Yeah, we're hamstringed until we get this contract. And I'm just gonna bring it up again. I'm just concerned of the timeline, Carlos. I know what the state is looking for. We can't go out to bid and get the people that are gonna pothole and map until we get approval of your contract, and we need to get going on that. And as we said, we need that to give to the State Water Resource Board. They wanted us to put in application stuff by July. So we just need to make sure we get on it, because time's going to go fast, and it's probably going to take a few months to get that potholing done. How long is the potholing and mapping process, Dee? Once we get started on that?
If we go from start to finish, I think I said put 3 months in there, I think, something like that.
Okay. All right. That's just my concern.
And then I had one more question, because I think we were tied a little bit on that to the Lake of the Woods, getting there, because the TA contract is sort of combining us a little bit. I think we were waiting on Joan to get that information also over to Self-Help. Did that happen? I can't.
We can't hear you, Carlos. Your reception, we can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got the info from Lake of the Woods that I need, so the work plan will be complete by tomorrow.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
Okay. Number 13, discussion vote update on Cal OES Community Power
So let's go ahead
Resiliency.
and note that. Let's go ahead and note the time, because we're done with the main state.
Time, Jeff?
6:59.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and I think this is where I say good night.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Oscar.
This is Oscar as
Yeah.
well. I'll be excusing myself from the call. So good night, everybody.
Good night,
Yeah,
Carlos.
Good night.
Okay, A, discussion vote update on purchase of the generators.
Guess that's back to me too. We are working with PT, I think it's PTS. Anyway, the folks that are providing the generators, we're working with them we're reviewing the generator specifications. Should be done with those next couple days. And what they do, they submitted to us what they're going to provide. We have to go through and make darn sure that what they're providing is what we specified, and we're doing that right now. So I think it'd be a couple of days, maybe midweek next week, when we get the approval back to them that everything's fine, and they go ahead and complete their order.
And we've already provided them a down payment of $163,476.40.
So they're moving ahead. We're moving ahead as fast as we can.
Okay. B, discussion vote on engineering and design.
Well, everything is designed. we do have the pads, whenever we get to the point that we've got a place to set them, we'll do some calculations on some generator pads. But as far as, of course, everything is done now. We're just trying to wrap this thing up and get the darn generators here.
Okay. C, discussion vote on project progress report for Cal OES.
That's Tiffany. We turned that in, but I don't know where it's gone from there.
Yeah, so I wrote up the report. The ad hoc reviewed it, gave it a thumbs up. It was submitted, and Cal OES got back to us and said we received the progress report. Thank you. So that'll be it for that. I don't think there'll be any more follow-up. I did include it in your packet just as a FYI if you wanted to look at it, but that's it on that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Number 14, discussion vote on community water system COVID relief program.
So that one, I spoke to the state last week. There was, I guess, we had put a mailing address and they didn't want the mailing address. They wanted the physical address. So they had us re-sign one of the forms. Director Garcia helped with that, came in and re-signed the form. So we got that back to them. So as far as I know, it's still under review.
Okay, good. Number 15, discussion vote on well number 5 blending station and purchasing a nitrate analyzer. There's a couple of things that I think I got an email from Johnny that we're supposed to wait and discuss with him. I don't know if this is one of them or not. Did anyone else get that?
No.
I got an email that said we should wait on the handbook, or
Right.
just go to 10, 11, and 12 pages of the handbook.
Okay, so
Not the nitrate thing.
Dee, do you know where we stand on the blending station and purchase of the nitrate analyzer?
Yeah, Curtis reviewed the specifications, and the analyzer that was suggested was not the one that we need. So he passed that information back to Johnny, and I think all that has been
And that's also going to be an increase in cost, correct?
I don't know whether that's an increase or not.
That's what Johnny was saying. He felt that it was an increased cost on the correct nitrate analyzer. He was talking about 30,000 or something.
Wow. The
Killing us.
I think you saw the letter that Jesse sent back regarding more information, and I replied to that regarding the operation of our blending station. And Johnny and I are going to get together next week, probably Monday or Tuesday. It'll have to be Monday or Tuesday, and discuss that and look at the records and just develop some backup information that will indicate just how much water we can blend there. The thing about this whole thing is that, when the demand comes, we got to operate well 5. It's whether we are able to blend or not blend, or get the blend down below the MCL, which it looks like, well 5's down at 8.5 now, so that's good. We're below the MCL for arsenic. I mean
For nitrates.
But so the bottom line on all this is we only got 2 wells, and we got to run them when the demand gets there. We can't not run them, and so it's either we'll be in compliance or we won't. And if we're not, then we will have to issue a no drink order. But the issue there is, where the way we envision operating this thing is filling the tank when we can, maybe half full, with water from well 6, and then shutting off that particular connection and filling it the rest of the way with well 5. And so, and by doing that, we can check the blend in the tank itself. And so what we have done is put the analyzer on the outflow to the tank, because of the methods that we're using to do the blending will be, well 6 will be on probably by itself, filling the tank maybe half full, and then well 5 will come on and it'll fill it the rest of the way up. So we're thinking that we'll get that blend in the tank, and we'll definitely want to check that blend that's coming out of the tank. That's the most important part of it. And so the location of the analyzer is on that outflow from the tank, and that's where it should be. And I think Jesse understands that now. We've had some conversation there.
I have some questions, because I had some conversation with Johnny today, and I'm a little bit confused and concerned, because it sounded like there wasn't a good way to isolate going to one specific tank from both wells, that we would need almost another tank, somewhere else, that we were able to run a different way, is kind of what I was understanding. So that the cost could be really prohibitive. I didn't understand that we would be able to fill a tank. I'm not sure what tank that is, partially with 6 and then partially with 5.
It's the tank at well 5, and that's the first time I've heard that, Lisa. So I'm not quite sure what Johnny was referring to, but we're not planning on building any more tanks. We'll use the one that we have, and we'll get the blend there at well 5.
Well, I think that it relates to the fact that we may have an upcoming problem with fluorides coming from well 6, and Jesse was talking about we may have to blend everything.
Whoa.
Oh, well, that is a horse of another color, that's for sure. And I know Johnny I think he told me we just took the sample for fluorides yesterday, or maybe.
No,
He's doing it on Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
they told him to hold off for a little bit, and yeah, he's doing it Monday.
Okay. And we'll see what we've got when we get to that point. It's just, we got 2 wells, and we got demands, and we got to meet them. And fluoride is really not that critical. It's not as critical as nitrates. And so if we have 2.1, we're over the MCL, or we're over the MCL, if that's the case. But it is not, it's a secondary contaminant, I think. It's certainly not one that's a threat to somebody's health. It's more its effect on teeth and some other things, as I understand it. So, we'll try, like, we don't want to spend $1 million making this thing work when we really got to have a new well that we hope will be in compliance, and should be in compliance with respect to fluorides and with respect to nitrates. And so this is pretty much a stopgap measure that we're trying to get by and get the best blend that we can until we can actually correct the problem.
Okay.
Well, we'll continue to work on it then, is what I understand.
Just keep holding our breath.
Number 16 has been asked to be.
So because Johnny's working on the, so he's not to participate in the employee handbook, so he wanted to hold off on that till next week.
Yes.
I mean, we were going to do it every week, but okay, I'll move then that we table the discussion review vote on the employee handbook, even though we discussed doing it every meeting, that we're going to hold off and table that because we don't have everyone present that needs to be here.
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Nyman seconded. Roll call directors, Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Director Kelly, you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Director Brown, Nyman. Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Hi.
Director Garcia is an aye, 5-0-0. Motion carried.
Director Brahma, I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, brief recess if anyone cares to, or we
No.
can push on. We're almost there, kids.
Push
Yay.
on. Push on.
Push on.
Okay, number 17.
I
Actually,
do I have some concerns about 17, and probably Johnny may have wanted us to table that as well, because I do, in reading through that, it's, even though there may be some advantages, there's also some disadvantages, because in reading the money, the cash back, I believe the cash back's only a one time on a larger purchase, and it's less cash back money. So I don't know. I think our hopes were that it's a little easier to deal with as far as looking at the statement, because we have trouble getting the statement, and we have trouble paying it in a timely manner to California Bank and Trust. We always have to walk that payment over and make sure it gets in time. But I think there may be some potential.
Yeah, that was my concern about the timeliness of payment on that, because it says that if we're late twice, then the interest rate goes from
huge.
13% up to 25. What is
Yeah.
it?
It's
20
something percent. It's really high, and the late fee is like $30-something, $29.
Yeah, so I mean, if we were late twice in a calendar year, they would raise the interest rate. And my biggest concern is when our billing date was, when they have to have the payment, where their payment we'd need to find out where their payment processing thing is, and all that has to be available for us to be able to do that. That's my biggest concern. Like you said, because we've been
losing some money on the cash back as well. So if we're losing money because we're paying a larger late fee and higher interest,
right.
then I don't know if that's advantageous. So I think, can we table, and Johnny's not here to speak to it, so I'd like to move, we table further discussion on 17 until the next meeting.
I agree. I'll second it.
Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call directors. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye, 5-0-0. Motion carried. Dee, I'm going to interrupt. I think you can go ahead and take the rest of the day off. What do you think?
Okay, that's
Feel better, D.
Enjoy
Yeah.
yourself, sir.
We'll see you next week, but enjoy your vacation, kind of working vacation.
Okay. Good night now.
okay.
All
Well,
I can tell you is the weather is nice out here.
really, this morning, we had a little bit of fog around us and a little bit of rain too. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that rain, which is really the stuff we got to have to
Help everything.
help everything for sure. So,
Help our quality, help our water tables.
Yes. Help us out here.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, good night. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, before you go, D. Wait. I just realized, because he's possibly not going to be here at the next meeting, that we wouldn't know about going back out to bid, but maybe we can contact him somehow.
Yeah. There you
are. So,
I'll try to be available on Thursday, during the time that the meeting will be held with Lawrence. So,
okay. That's
I'd love that. Okay. Okay, so here we go.
You love that Dee will be there on the 19th? Okay, Jerry.
Number 18, discussion vote on rotating board positions for resolution FB 20190214-01. Any discussion from the board?
I think that's just I mean, that was given us as a reminder, because that's from 2019, that we, that we term out at 2 years on our various positions, which I believe we're at right now, and that we need to rotate, and the way that we rotate is in order of board seat. So what happens for, we would start with whoever is, I guess, after Jerry, what seat are you, Jerry?
I'm board, seat number 1.
So he's seat number 1, so it would go first to number 2 to see if number 2 wants to take. So we would do them in order, starting with the president, unless we had some kind of issue with that, in which case we'd need to change, but that's our current resolution is the position would come up in order. We would go to each director in order of their seat and ask if, the next eligible person would be seat number 2, as long as they had been on the board for over 6 months. We don't have any new board members, so I believe everyone's eligible without a second vote. So it would go to seat number 2, and then 2 would decide whether they are willing or not, and if not, then it would go to seat number 3, etc., until we fill the president, and then we would continue on in the same manner for the other positions. That's my understanding of it. So that's 18 is just to kind of discuss and vote on that if there's any issue. If not, then I believe we can move on to 19, which would be, because the I don't know. I guess we can do it under 18. So I guess we can do
We need to do the positions under 18.
right, the positions under 18, and then vote on those positions being affirmed under 19. So it would go, because Jerry, you're termed out at 2 years also, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So it would go to, so who's seat number 2?
Me.
Director Gibson.
Okay, so it would first be, you would be the first eligible person for being the president.
Okay.
Did
So
you want to, you're willing to be the president?
Well, you know what? I hope I can do a good job as president and move the meetings along. Jerry does such a great job, but I tell you what, I feel more comfortable doing the president than doing treasurer, which I'm not even close to, but yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So just help me push the meetings through, okay?
Yeah, and then I don't believe we have an issue as far as eligibility or anything. So I believe we would just see how we're supposed to vote. I have to find. You want to help me with this, Tiffany? I don't have it. Let me look at it. I got it now. So I don't believe we have to vote on the actual, let me see, if the decline. Okay, so if the holder of the position of president, blah, 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 terminates or resigns, rotation by seat number will stand unless the position is declined. So I think as long as the person doesn't decline the position, let me just reread this just to make sure it's correct. You guys can read it with me, but yeah, I believe it's just the rotation. So I don't believe we need to singly vote unless we only need a vote if the person does not have the eligibility. So yeah, so you would just rotate in. So it's because you're eligible. Becky, that's my understanding of the resolution. So that would,
Okay, yeah, that's what I understood too.
okay. Okay, so then we would go on to the next position. So the next position would be vice president. Is the vice president termed out? It is, correct?
Yes, yes, I'm termed out.
That's Brahma, and what seat are you, Brahma?
I'm seat 3.
Okay, so then I'm 4, so that would make me eligible for that. I guess I'm okay doing vice president if everyone's I mean, I guess I don't even, I'm eligible, so yeah, I'm okay moving to vice president.
You're muted, Jerry.
Hello?
Yes, so what are the other positions? Let's get them all.
Okay, so that was vice president, so I'm eligible to move into that. So the next position would be treasurer. I'm seat 4, I'm termed out of treasurer, so the next eligible would be seat 5. Who is seat 5?
That's
Terry.
Terry.
Telling.
Probably me, yeah. That's fine. I don't know. I'll need
But
lots of-
I think a problem with that is that you're not physically here. I think that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
except I will be in January.
Okay.
My only issue with treasurer is it's a really intense position. So are you ready to commit to the intensity of that position? It's a big learning curve and you're gonna have to do a whole lot of stuff.
Yes, I
No.
know. And the thing, Lisa, is that you and Brahma understand it. The rest of us don't. So no matter which one of us takes it,
It'll be a learning
it's gonna
curve.
be a learning curve for any of us.
It's a tough position, Terry, to my way of thinking,
Oh, I totally understand.
and especially when we have an ad hoc financial committee. I mean, I guess that they don't intersect, but yeah, it's a tough position. I've been avoiding it.
I understand that, but the rest of us have got to step up, and that includes me. And so,
Okay.
I mean, unless Brahma, you want to take it back on, and I know you don't.
Well, I'm open to whatever the board wants, whatever the board is comfortable with. So, if it's something that you wanna give a stab at,
Well,
I mean,
my only issue is one of us is gonna have to be there.
right. So then
For
either,
the learning
I
curve.
mean, then we'll rotate out the financial ad hoc committee. Either I come off of it and you stay on it, and that way you can work with Terry, or I stay on the ad hoc committee with Terry, doing the bills, and then we can consult with you in the beginning, and really that's that's what would have to happen. So I'm open to anything.
Make your recommendation. Well, in the past, we've had situations because the projects are so intense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the learning curve was actually I mean, this is in your blood, Lisa. You've been here forever. And the knowledge base with you is just immeasurable.
Right, but
Yeah.
I can't do it. So the only other person who's just able to step right into the position would be Brahma. Because it says in no uncertain terms in our resolution that it's a 2-year maximum, and then the person can re-up it after a year. So
Mm-hmm.
you can always put someone, but then again, if something happened to me or happened to Brahma, there's no one else that's familiar with it, but yeah, it's a huge learning curve, and it's going to entail extra work on that behalf of anyone who is working with kids, because it's going to be a lot of teaching.
Well, as long as you both are up to it, yeah.
I
Terry's gonna take it.
I'm just saying that I know it is the most intensive job on the board. I understand that. But you know, it's, I mean, I guess, I mean, Brahma can take treasurer, you're gonna be VP, but I mean, you guys can swap, is that, I mean, whatever the board's comfortable with, okay? I'm just saying that, you know, I know that,
the only two people that would be able to do, well, three people would be, well, I guess Jerry could do it as well, but like it may, again, it'd be a big learning curve. So yeah, I mean, Brahma can swap back to that position. I can't because I'm already in it. So
right. But that's what I'm saying, Brahma's VP, you're taking VP. I mean,
Well,
so
it's up to Terry whether she wants it or not. Because she either has to decline it, and then it would go to Jerry, and he would have to decline it in order for me to end up being it. So it really comes down to if you want to do it, I think it's okay. But like I said, there's a lot of, you know, keeping track of transfers, you know, from each project, and because we got to put them in the certain accounts, and the claims go in a certain account and get paid from a certain account, and you know, there's a lot of work with it. So I don't have a problem, like I said. So but we have to go by what the resolution says. So it's really up to you, Terry, what you want to do.
Terry, and if you'd like some time to think about it, I think we could table it till next week. It's just 1 week apart.
well, we really can't because we have to ratify everything for January.
Next week is still December.
All I'm saying is
I would just make a decision on it tonight so that we can have the resolution and move on.
Yeah.
well, okay, I will decline it.
Okay, then it would go to you, Jerry. You can decline or.
Oh yeah, I declined it.
Okay, so then it goes to you, Director Nyman. Are you willing to do it?
I guess I'm willing to do it. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks,
so
Brahma.
We have a treasurer, so now we're on to secretary. So who's secretary right now is Director Gibson. Oh no, it's Director Kelling.
5.
Seat 5, so it would go to seat 1 first.
Yes,
Who is?
What's that one?
secretary.
Yeah, I guess I could take it.
Okay, so then that's fine, and so then we have the position of
JPIA.
JPIA rep.
And I'm the only one left, so I'll take that one.
Okay. And you know, all of us are here for questions too, so I think on that, Director Gibson could
Oh, yeah.
help you out. But okay, so then I think we're good with that, Tiffany. So that brings all of us into a new position, which we can serve for 2 years before we do this again. I mean, we have to do this again, but our maximum term would be 2 years.
Didn't that 2 years go by fast?
Yes, it does.
Probably if you were treasurer, it did not.
So
Let's move on to 19.
Huh?
Let's move on to
I
19.
think we can move on to 19, and 19 really just entails putting the correct information in the correct spots. But there's a couple of, let me find 19 because hold on a second. have that in front of you?
I've never had it.
Oh, here it is. I've got it. Never mind. Okay, so the only okay, so it's all the red sections are what would change. The resolution number would change. That's fine. Rotate board positions per resolution. The 2019, which is fine. The new, it says revise and restate the online banking access administrator and alternate. So we need to either reassign or keep. Right now it's Director Nyman and myself. So we just have revise and restate, but that it comes lower in this. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the motion. So because it says introduced by director, so I'm gonna introduce before the Board of Directors of the Fraser Park Public Utility District Resolution number FP 20211209-01 in the matter of FP financial accounts held at California Bank and Trust, board positions, account signers, and account designations. So I am introducing this motion. So that would be Director Schoenberg. So now we have effective December 9th, 2021. Gerald Garcia, Director, is now Secretary, seat 1. Rebecca Gibson, Director, is now President, seat 2. Brahma Nyman, Director, is now Treasurer, seat 3. Lisa Schoenberg, Director, is now Vice President, seat 4. Terry Kelling is now JPIA Representative, seat 5. Further resolved that the credit card program administrator, treasury management administrator, and administrator of the online banking access shall be. Are you guys okay? Or guys, you're not guys, but are you directors okay with it remaining as is, or do you want to change the online banking?
I think we should remain it as is. You can still be the administrator, and then I could be the alternate.
Okay. Is the rest of the board okay with that? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then the alternate credit card program administrator, treasury management administrator, administrator of the online banking access shall be, and that's the same. Unless you need to change that. Is that correct, Tiffany? That's we don't need to name you or Johnny in there, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Further resolved, December 9th, 2021. So that's the only change there. Then it states all of our accounts, which there are no changes on our accounts right now. The next spot, December 9th, 2021, those all stay the same. On the third page, that all stays the same, so it would just be the motion. So I move that we go ahead and accept with the new positions. I was told by the bank we do not need to re-sign cards as long as there are no new directors. They don't actually put our positions on the card. They just need a copy of the new resolution. So I move that we accept resolution FP 2021-1209-01 as amended tonight.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelly has seconded the motion. Roll call of directors. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 500, motion carried. Number 20. Review and approve meeting minutes for 11/11/2021 regular meeting. Did we all get our corrections sent in?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to pass those as corrected.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to this meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second it.
Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call directors. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried.
Can I ask a question just out of curiosity?
Director Gibson, you have the floor.
Did anybody find any mistakes on these minutes for the 11th?
There were some capitalization things, but I didn't worry about them. But there were some
Okay.
that
Okay.
that was all I found. So I didn't.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's review and approve the meeting minutes for 11/18/2021 state update meeting.
Okay, and I didn't get this to Tiffany. There is a change that I did not get to Tiffany in time.
Well, I would just tell her.
But I think, actually, let me see. Let me read it through again just while, 1 second.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell her too.
Son of a gun.
You may have forgot. I'm okay actually with the way it's worded. I had like a wording thing on something. Do you want to? Is there something
Anybody else find anything?
critical? Actually, I think we
No.
can. Oh, go ahead.
I found something, but I forgot to tell Tiffany about this particular one, and it might be the one that you're talking about, Lisa. Is it about number 5?
Hold on, let me look.
Number 5A?
Where is she?
Page 3?
It's down here and so it's at the floor.
It's a state update meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what's hissing at her, but she's still.
I didn't see that was a problem because that was
Still.
what, unless I'm not looking at what you're looking at.
Be able to put the meter replacement out on the street. That just sounds sloppy to me. But I didn't mention it to Tiffany, you know.
Whoa, that is a quote right there.
Why don't we put bid, Tiffany? Can we just add bid on there?
Yeah.
Just between replacement and out. And in looking again at the one I was looking at, which was something else, I'm not worried about it. So I'd like to move that we, where did this go? Hold on a second. I don't have it in front of me now. Okay, anyway, I'd like to move that we, I don't have the, I just lost the wording for that. Here it is. Sorry. So one more time. I'd like to move that we approve the minutes. Where is it? For 11/18/2021, the state update meeting. With the amendment mentioned tonight and any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll
Do I have a
second it.
second? Thank you. Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call director. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried. Okay, let us review and approve meeting minutes from 11/18/2021 regular planning meeting.
Hold on one second, I'm just looking to see. Again, I think there were just some capitalizations that I don't think are critical, so and Tiffany's able to change those if she wishes through the motion. So I would like to move that we approve the regular planning meeting minutes for Thursday, November 18th, 2021, with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to this meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Director Nyman, second the motion. Roll call directors. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 5-0-0. Motion carried. Number 21, discussion and vote on future agenda items. I think we probably went over those with a fine-tooth comb, didn't we, Tiff?
We did. I'm going to put back on the resolution for you. I'm going to put it on the meeting, although we don't know if it'll continue meeting remotely in January. So I'll have that as a discussion item. It gets messy because the state, when they talk about changing things, it's usually in the very last minute. The last few days of the year, I'll find out whether or not we can continue to do the vote, whether or not we'll be able to do disconnections. So we'll go the best we can on that one. And then I was gonna put modified services back on also.
All right, then.
I have a question about that, but I guess I can ask it at the next meeting. Do we need to put on, do we need to vote on the financial ad hoc? I mean, since I'm taking Director Nyman's position and he's taking my position, I don't think we have to change that, but do we want to re-vote on it?
No, I think that's fine.
Well, I guess the question would be is whether maybe Terry might want to come on the financial ad hoc and rotate in, maybe so she can learn. I mean, I don't know. That's a discussion we can have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can an ad hoc have three members?
No.
I was saying,
Rotate out. Okay.
Yeah, I don't care if it remains the same, but I was just, people are concerned about just me and Lisa understanding. So maybe if Terry is, wants to do that, she could come in and do the bills with Deborah and me or something like that. That's something that we can discuss at the next meeting.
That would be so beneficial. I thought to myself, I would really love to go to those meetings.
The financial ad hoc's a lot more than the bills. So you're going to do the budget and all that stuff as well?
That's the problem with you and Brahma both.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm good with that. Brahma's been at all that stuff, so he could potentially, it could be you two.
I'll just put it as a discussion item then for the next meeting.
It's just, there's a lot,
A lot to it.
Budget. Oh.
Yeah, but the ad hoc didn't have anything to do with your positions. It was just two people that we put together.
Correct.
But we can still establish a budget ad hoc when it comes to that.
When it comes time, right?
I mean, because we did that last time. We had Jerry and you, so. Okay. But we could discuss it.
Well, all I'm saying is, I mean, I think you should put it on there, but I'm just saying it's more than just going over the bills. There's a whole bunch of things we added to that financial ad hoc, so just be aware of that.
Do you want me to, for giggles, put project ad hoc too? I mean, are we just going to discuss all the ad hocs? Just, let me know if you want to do both or just the one ad hoc.
the state ad hoc has to stay the same. I mean, it would be hard for somebody new to come in and get caught up on what you guys are already doing with Lawrence and the state.
Yes.
Okay, so I won't put project ad hoc, I'll just put financial.
Thank you.
Got it.
I mean,
Okay.
I think my question is, Brahma and Lisa, are you feeling overwhelmed?
Well, I mean, that's, sometimes I do, and, I think that, with taking on the treasurer, there's gonna be a lot to do with that. That's why I was mentioning like the budget, because, I don't particularly like being on the budget ad hoc, to be honest with you. So, I mean, in the discussion, I would like that to be separate from the financial ad hoc. And maybe we need to talk about what's on the financial ad hoc.
Right, because we added some things, and right now I'm trying to remember, we added the book assets. I mean, we added like everything to it because we were already working on all of that. But
I mean, I think there's a possibility of maybe breaking some of that out if we need to, as a separate ad hoc committee. I mean, because I think
so maybe that's the discussion. The discussion is not who's on the right now, although we could discuss that as well, is not who's on the financial ad hoc, but I think we need to figure out all of the things that are currently a part of the financial ad hoc. And since we changed positions, see if some of those again can be broken out so that maybe we can make just the bill, the sort of treasury part, a little bit separate so that someone can learn that position. So if Terry's interested in learning that, maybe we need to break it apart again, even though we did it sort of for convenience, just to put everything together. But maybe that shouldn't be the case, and maybe we break it up in a way that maybe we just change the name and there isn't even like a financial ad hoc. I think we just need to discuss ad hoc. So I think you need to put them on their period. And I mean, it's fine if we discuss that the project's still going to stay the same, but we need to be able to re-examine that so that that learning curve could happen with some new people that are willing. So if Terry's willing, then I think we should maybe try to find a way to break out the, at least the portion where you're going over all of the bills.
Okay, I think that sounds good.
Because there's more to it, but that would at least get her in a position of being good at that. So yeah, so if you could put that in some way that makes sense, Tiffany, on the agenda for next week, and we can kind of try to figure out how we can do that in a way that, I mean, the only problem is that if there's a question, then I can't answer it as part of that ad hoc, because that would be a serial meeting, so it would have to be answered in a meeting.
Yeah, how about just generalizing discussion vote on reforming ad hoc committees? And then it'll general enough.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
That works, because I think we've talked about we're pretty close in terms of what's going on with Deborah understanding the different classes and everything that things go into, so it might work.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Is that it? That's it. Let's go to 22. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
That you, Director Gibson?
It is.
Director Gibson has seconded the motion. Roll call to directors. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Schallenberg.
Aye.
Director Garcia is an aye. 500. Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned at what time you got?
7:51.
Quick,
Blessings to you all. Great job.
Terry,
This meeting is adjourned.
Wait,
yes, it's adjourned. Terry, do me a favor and call me. I've lost your phone number because of my change in my phone.
okay, I will do that.
Hey, I should have mentioned it during the meeting, but do we have specific plans for the Christmas barbecue?
Oh, we were gonna say, nothing has been formed yet. I
Okay.
so that
don't
should
know
take,
what happened, but
that needs to be on the agenda too, I guess. Or
yeah,
we
and
need-
I think that'll still give it enough time.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that's on the agenda again.
All right,
I
good
mean,
night,
it could come
everybody.
together pretty quick. Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Thank you. Brahma? Oh, he already left. Okay.